Hi everyone, welcome to the ASG Spring Virtual Informational. After today's video, you will have the opportunity to fill out the rest of your ASG and/or TPB application. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
So first and foremost, what is ASG? ASG is essentially the student representative community on campus. So it's made up of two main parts, the student government and our programming board known as TPB, which is Torero Programming Board. So ASG is funded by the student activity fee that all students pay in addition to their tuition, and it goes towards funding different events and student-centered activities. So members of ASG are either elected or appointed into their positions. For example, senators are elected, and the associate justices in my branch are appointed. By being in ASG, you're committing to being advocates and representatives for the student population, reflecting their needs and wants and maintaining dialogue with your constituents. We, as ASG, also use our budget towards supporting a variety of campus services, including but not limited to the Commons, the Veterans Center, the Food Pantry, the Textbook Reserve, and so much more. So, with the student activity fee, we invest in a multitude of resources to serve the students, and that's you all. Another major part of ASG is establishing connections between different student organizations in addition to their relationships with the administration. We do this to make sure that students' voices are not only being heard by us, but being heard by the higher ups that really make big decisions for the school. Here is ASG's mission statement, so feel free to read along as I read this out loud. The Associated Student Government serves the University of San Diego undergraduates as official representatives who promote opportunities for growth and expression, address student issues, and enrich a diverse, inclusive, and engaged community. So this is what drives us to be in ASG in the first place. We're here to serve the undergraduate community and make the changes that we want to see at USD.
So here is an organizational chart to help you better visualize the different branches on ASG. We have Torero Program Board, the Judicial Branch, the Legislative Branch, and the Executive Branch. And you can pause this video to look at what positions are under what branches.
Requirements for ASG. So this is essentially what you have to bring to the table in order to join the organization. The first one is that you must be enrolled in a minimum of 12 units at USD unless you are a graduating senior. The second one is that you must have a minimum of 2.5 cumulative GPA. The third one is that you have to watch this election informational before you fill out the application, and I will know if you didn't. The fourth one is that you must complete an elections packet, which is essentially the application, and then you provide us a screenshot of your degree works for us to verify your information, your GPA, units, all of that stuff. And the fifth one is that all academic senators must be declared in a major of the college for which they represent. So if you're majoring in business, I don't want to see you running for a College of Arts and Sciences senator position. Similarly, if you are a residential senator, you must live in the residence hall that you are representing. And then the final requirement is that you may not hold 2 or more ASG positions at a time. That's honestly just a lot, and that's for your benefit as well, so let's just keep it at 1.
Here are the different senator positions available for the spring 2023 elections. For academic senators, we have 4 College of Arts and Sciences, 1 School of Engineering, 1 School of Business. And we have 7 commuter senators and 7 at-large senators. And for residential senators, we have 2 Vistas, 1 Pacific Ridge /UTAs/PTAs, 1 Manchester, 1 SAPS, and 1 San Juan.
So here are the responsibilities for senators. First and foremost, you are representing the people, representing your constituents and the student body. That's your job. So that means talking to the variety of people that make up your constituent community, hearing their wants and needs, and bringing them back to the rest of the ASG leadership team. In order to do that, you are required to hold office hours throughout the week to allow any member of the student body to come talk to you. Also, every member of ASG has an advisor, so as a senator, you will be required to meet with them bi-weekly just to make sure everything is going smoothly. We have an amazing advisor team in ASG with some great people who really care about not only the work that you're doing, but about you yourself, which I think is super important, and they're a very good resource. And of course, you have to attend weekly Senate meetings that are held on Thursdays during Torero hours specifically 12:15 to 2:15, as well as weekly committee meetings with the committee that you're assigned to. Additionally, you participate in ASG events and activities, as well as attending the required trainings and retreats that ASG holds. If you have a scheduling issue, that is always something that we can work out. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, because it's really great and efficient when everyone can attend this stuff. But again, we're willing to work with you.
So, as a senator, you will have some further opportunities for leadership within ASG. First one being Speaker of the Senate, and this position is very important in ASG as you schedule and preside over weekly Senate meetings. They also appoint the Speaker pro tempore, the Clerk of Senate, and the Senate chairs. They control the Senate Initiative Fund in conjunction with the Speaker pro tempore, Clerk of Senate, and ASG Finance Chair. They serve on the ASG Executive Board, serve on the ASG Finance Committee, and attend Board of Trustees meetings. Also, the Speaker pro tempore and Clerk of Senate and Parliamentarian, not featured on this slide, but those three roles act with the Speaker of Senate, and they make up the Senate leadership team. So some more information on those roles. The Speaker pro tempore acts as the Vice Chair to the Speaker of the Senate. They help run and manage the legislative branch. They act on behalf of the Speaker when they cannot perform their assigned duties. And like I mentioned, they serve as a member of the Senate leadership team. Next is Clerk of Senate, and they're responsible for minutes during Senate meetings and serve as a member of the Senate leadership team. Another cool opportunity for leadership within ASG is to become a committee chair and or coordinator. And with that, you would oversee and organize initiatives for your committee and provide weekly updates to the Senate on committee projects and initiatives.
The various Senate committees are the Academics Committee, the Student Organizations Committee, the Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility Committee, and the Student Life Committee. There are also three coordinators that are the Health and Wellness and Sustainability Coordinators, which are included in the Student Life Committee, as well as the Athletics Coordinator, which kind of stands on its own. Alrighty, so on to the executive branch, and we're going to start with the President and the Vice President. So the President is responsible for leading the executive branch, and they are one of the main point people for bridging the gap between administration and students. They are also part of the university-wide standing committees and are responsible for bringing other students into the committees as well. Again, all in an effort to achieve a high level of student representation in these rooms. And of course, they serve on the Board of Trustees. The Vice President is very academic oriented, and they attend University Senate, which is just the faculty version of ASG, and they're part of a bunch of different committees like the Undergraduate Curriculum Committee and so on and so forth. They also work with and oversee the Chair of Academics and the Academics Committee, and like the President, they also serve on the Board of Trustees. Next, we have some other members of exec, the first being the Public Relations Chair, who is in charge of overseeing external communication issues as well as helping out with elections. We have the Finance Chair, who, as I've mentioned, leads the Finance Committee and works with the ASG Budget Committee, or ASGBC for short, on all things money related. Finally, the Chief of Staff has a widespread task list depending on what the branch and organization needs, and they work closely with the rest of the exec board and the ASG advisors. Another important thing to note here is that the various members of the executive branch attend weekly Senate meetings and give updates to Senate about what they're working on and what they need from everyone else. It's a very collective process. Moving forward, we have our newest ASG branch, Judicial Branch, or as I would like to call them, the Judies. The Judicial Branch is led by the Chief Justice, who chairs all of the court sessions and hearings, processes campus referendums, and holds meetings for the Judicial Branch, and they also serve an exec. They also work intensely on elections, as they are the elections chairperson. Next, we have the Parliamentarian. So aside from being a killer Scrabble word, the Parliamentarian is a judicial expert on all things Constitution and bylaw related, and they also have a very good sense of Robert's Rules of Order, which is a set of guidelines for keeping meetings and hearings in order. The Parliamentarian can be parallel to the Speaker pro temp in their position of being the right hand to the Chief Justice and filling in when necessary. The Associate Justices are also required to be experts on the Constitution, bylaws, and Robert's Rules, and adjudicate the different cases that come forward. I did my best to kind of do a crash course on the different positions, but if you need something a little bit more concrete, no hard feelings, just head over to our elections website, and hopefully that can clarify a few things and give you more details on the positions.
Just to guarantee that you're paying attention to today's informational, we have a keyword, and our keyword is disco. When you're filling out your application, there's going to be a section that asks for the keyword, and in that you just put the word disco.
So you might be asking yourself at this point, what do I get out of being an ASG? Well, the first thing is that this is an excellent leadership opportunity. You get to cultivate brand new skill sets and experience a level of growth that you never knew you could experience. Like, not to be dramatic or anything, but ASG changed my life and has made me confident in my leadership skills, something that I'm extremely grateful for, and I don't know where I'd be without it. And again, not to be dramatic, but you could change the lives of students on campus. Being in positions where you constantly work to serve the student body and not only hear, but elevate their voices allows you to spark changes in our university that makes their lives heck of a lot easier, so it's something to be really proud of. Additionally, ASG enhances many future professional development opportunities. The skills that you develop from any student government organizations are well known to employers, grad school admission staff, and almost anyone on the outside. So having experiences like this under your belt can go a long way. So definitely something to consider, aka resume boost. ASG members also get to connect with administration, and that's a very rare opportunity to have. You get to bridge the gap between administrators and undergraduate students. Your role here is critical to bringing the student voice to folks who make major decisions that affect us all, and that should not be taken lightly. And of course, the moment you've probably been waiting for, money. I know you were waiting for some monetary compensation talk, so here it is. Yes, student leaders receive a federal works service award, which is always a plus in this cold capitalistic world. So you could actually make up to $2,500 in a work service award, which is really tight. And obviously it depends on what position you're running for, but it's not like any paid hourly wage. But again, it's a work service award, and it really helps out.
So here is the time frame of this election. The main thing you want to look at, and make sure you write it down in your planner, GCal, wherever you want, is the application due date, which is March 23rd. One more time, it is March 23rd. Don't forget to get your applications in by then. The rest is on the screen. Informationals is March 1st through March 23rd. Again, applications March 23rd. March 24th, we'll be approving all the candidates. March 25th through April 3rd, that's your time to campaign. April 3rd, this is for the president and vice president primary voting. April 11th, final debate again for those positions. And then April 12th through 13th is the 48-hour voting window. That's for everyone who is running for an elected position in ASG. April 14th, we'll have the announcement of the candidates. May 6th is the ASG training date, also a very important date to keep track of. And May 11th, you will be sworn in at our Senate. And here is the time frame for appointed positions. That would be, for example, judicial branch members or the PR chair or chief of staff. So March 1st through April 16th, informationals. April 16th, also make sure you keep track of that. Applications are due then, so don't forget. April 17th, approval of candidates. April 19th through 25th, the candidate interviews. April 27th, announcement of results. May 6th, ASG training day also. Make sure you write that down. And May 11th, you will be sworn in at our ASG Senate.
The election rules are so important, but they're also so long, so I will not be sitting here and reading them to you line by line. As candidates for Senate elections, you are responsible for knowing all the rules and regulations for elections, and you can find these in the ASG election bylaws. The bylaws live in the ASG website, so make sure you check them out. And just some food for thought, the posting policy for USD is fairly strict, so make sure you have everything by the book when campaigning, because if not, I promise it'll get messy and you do not want your platform to suffer because of it. Here we have a few FAQs or frequently asked questions I'll go over in case you have them. So the first one, if I am elected as an academic senator and I switch my major to a different college, will I lose my position? No. You will, in fact, be able to finish the year in your elected position, so don't worry, you switch that major if you need it. Next question. Will I be compensated for being an ASG? Again, with the money, yes. ASG members typically receive a little work service award, so keep the change. And then finally, can I appeal the results? Yes. The elections bylaws have information for appeals, so check that out. But please note that the appeals must be submitted to the Chief Justice, that's me, no later than 3 school days after the election. If you have any more questions about elections, you can email asgpublicrelations@sandiego.edu, or if it's more bylaw related, you can hit me up at asgchiefjustice@sandiego.edu. We're both more than happy to help. So for those of you who made it to the end of this extremely long informational, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow our Instagrams at USD_ASG and USD_TBB so you can stay up to date with everything that we're doing. So thanks again. Have a great day or night or whatever time this is for you. Good luck, and I hope to see you all around. Chief Judy out.